following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't trust me, big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy, big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be, Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Stars.
Hey ho! What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We have a fun show for you guys this weekend. Before we get started, let's say hi to everybody, starting with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
See, he could be nice to me when he wants to be. So what are you after? What are you being nice to me for?
Nothing. We want to say hi. We have Astro over here.
Astro's on my left.
Hi, Astro.
Come on, Astro.
Say hi to everybody.
Come on, you're in showbiz.
Yeah,
you got to go up there. There's Astro. He's in showbiz.
Then we have the chat room starting, people coming up. What's up? Anton's in the chat room. B. Claudia in Germany's in the chat room. Hope everybody's well. Give a shout out to our engineer, Juan. And we have a fun show for you guys today. We had a great weekend. Saturday night, we went to Madame Tussauds for Halloween. Tussauds.
There's no O on it. It's A-D.
So Tussauds. And
Tussauds, no S.
No, it's got an S on the end of it. So
Madame Tussauds.
It's Madame Tussauds Hollywood Wax Museum, not Madame Tussauds Hollywood Wax Museum.
Yeah, but her name is Tussauds. But when you're referring to the event, it's Tussauds event.
Okay, so we were at Madame Tussauds for Halloween Hotness on Saturday night. It sucked getting there because we left Palm Springs. There's only one road that leaves Palm Springs, and there was an accident. So normally it takes about an hour and 45 minutes to get there, and it took 3.5 hours to get there, which stunk. So we got there a little late. And leaving, we were in a parking garage in the 4th floor down, and it took an hour to get out of the parking garage. But all the time while we were there, we had a blast, and it was awesome.
You know, we have just too many people living in Los Angeles. There's a wonderful sign when you come from the airport into L.A., it says Los Angeles population, and underneath that it says too many.
Yeah,
and I agree with that.
So we saw all kinds of fun people. We saw, as soon as we walked in, we saw Mike Ferguson, who's always on the show. We saw Sherry Davis. We saw Dave Bailey. We saw Ray Michaels and Frankie. Frankie
Ramone.
Yes,
Romano.
And then we saw Devaney Pinn. And I forgot all the people.
Marcel Waltz.
Oh yeah, Marcel Waltz and Sarah French.
How can we forget them? They're our dearest friends.
And then we also had I met Michael Learned, which I don't know if it's Michael or
and my very good friend Janae Montague King was there, dressed as Liz Lauren, who looks like Sophia Loren, and he looked absolutely smashing.
And I met Michael Learned, who's the mom on the Waltons.
Right.
And she's also in the new
and
Dahmer TV series.
Was there.
And George Chakiris, Academy Award winner for West Side Story, was there. And
so many people. I mean, so many to name. I can't even begin to name them all. But I think we had about 800 people, maybe more. Somebody said close to 9.
And we raised $16,000.
Over 15,000.
I think 17,000 ended up.
And the line waiting for the red carpet was 4 or 5 wide by about the whole rooftop. I would say, I don't know how long it was, but there was a mob scene for the red carpet, which was really crazy because nobody really got to do the red carpet well. Nobody was there to tell you position 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when people went on, they went into position 2 or 3 before they did position 1. And one photographer was Getty, another photographer was somebody else, and they get annoyed if they don't get the picture in front of them. They have to shoot sideways, which is somebody else's position. It's all bullshit.
Al Bandera. I mean, Al Burke was there.
Everybody.
And James Duval from Independence Day and Gone in gone in 60
and
seconds.
the costumes were fabulous. The guy that came as It was absolutely the stealer of the show. It was fabulous. Jimmy, of course, was Chucky and looked great.
I got a great
was-
picture with it.
I was an Egyptian, and I took a fun picture with the statue of Zac Efron. Zac Efron was in a bathing suit and has my hand on his shoulder, and I'm the Egyptian. And I said, if you're good to me, one day you could be queen of Egypt. I love that. But a lot of people got offended. They thought it was sort of like what Hollywood does to movie actors, forces them to have sex. It was a joke, folks. He's a friggin' wax doll. I mean, am I weird? Am I nuts? I'm going to have sex with a wax doll. I mean, then I really put myself away.
We also met BJ Mezek, who was on the show just like a month ago,
Right.
promoting his movie that he did with Devaney Pinn and Sarah French. And so we met him. He was super nice.
And she,
And last week's guest, Lillian Mortis, was there, and she did a performance
right, with her husband.
with her husband Mortis.
And T, what's her face was there?
Tracy Lee Coco, who was on our show a couple of months ago
Right.
from Star Trek.
Everybody.
Lieutenant
was
Jay.
there. And the costumes were really beautiful. It went from monsters. I mean, Joe Castro and his husband, Stephen, Joe made these monstrous rubber heads that were so big and ugly, disgusting, but scary, but beautiful. Joe Castro is really a master at creating effects for horror films.
Absolutely.
Who else? There's a whole bunch
There
of
was
people.
just a bunch of people.
We had a lot of fun. The evening went so quickly. Next thing I knew, it was 11 o'clock and everybody was gone.
Right.
Everybody went out to party in Hollywood. Of course, we didn't go to party in Hollywood because we had a 2-hour drive to get back to Palm Springs.
Which ended up taking 3 hours because
Right.
of traffic, and we had to get back to Astro.
It really stinks in one way living in Palm Springs because we really socialize in LA, Los Angeles. For those of you who are not familiar with the demographics of it, Los Angeles is 200 miles from Palm Springs.
No, 100.
100, but 200 round trip.
Yes.
So we have to drive 100 miles in and 100 miles home. If there's no traffic, it's okay. But if there's traffic, it's a very long adventure.
So B wants a quick picture, so look up at the camera and smile. There you go, B. Love you. So no, we had a good time though. Also today is Sean Kanan's birthday.
Yeah. Happy
So
birthday,
we want to wish Sean
Sean.
Kanan a happy birthday. And it was his wife's birthday 2 weeks ago, and we went to a party for that. And Sean's a good friend of us and been on the show many
Oh,
times.
it's not us. Where'd you learn to speak English?
He's a good friend of
Florida?
ours. Yes, from
In
Florida.
Florida? From a friend of ours, not a friend of us. And you're supposed to graduate, what, 6th in your class?
Yes,
you
I
said?
graduated 6th in my class.
He doesn't know geography. He said he didn't have to learn geography. His
I
grammar
don't know.
His grammar is
I write very
atrocious.
extremely well.
I know that, but your grammar and speech is atrocious.
That's okay.
I mean, I got kicked out of school at 16 years old. I did. I got kicked out of high school. They said, Ron, we don't think that high school is good for you. And I said, you know what? You're right. I'm an actor, and I'm going to go out and become a movie star. And I left high school. I went to hairdressing school. I learned to be one of the top New York hairstylists, made a lot of money to support myself while I was pursuing my career in film. But I wound up on stage more than I did film because it's New York. And here I am today, 82 years old in films.
Yay.
So you see, never give up, folks. It's never over till the fat lady sings.
That's right. Never over. And Anton is in the chat room. Say, hey, Anton.
Hi, and for those of you who like my wristwatch, I have my Mighty Mouse wristwatch on. Mighty Mouse, Mighty Mouse. Jimmy bought me this in a flea market. We were in a flea market in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. I forgot where it was. Pennsylvania. And I spotted the wristwatch, and I said, oh my God, I love that wristwatch. But it's going to be a fortune of money because it's an original Mighty Mouse electric. I think it's an electric. Yeah, no, it's a wind up wristwatch. And I went over and I said to the man, I said, how much do you want for the Mighty Mouse? He said, give me $10. I almost fell out of my boots. I said to Jimmy, $10. Let's do it. So we bought the Mighty Mouse wristwatch for $10, and I love him. I love Mighty Mouse. He was always one of my favorite cartoons.
He has Mickey Mouse. He has all
Yeah,
kinds of
and
them.
I just love. I rarely wear him because I don't want to scratch the lens or damage him. So I'll wear them like now because I'm not walking or moving. I'm sitting here. But remember Mighty Mouse? You remember him? He's going flying down, little mouse, so cute. Anyway,
Teresa Sabin just joined us too. Hello, Teresa.
I'm a
And-
child at heart.
And that Dawn, who likes your watches, is having a medical procedure done today, so she's not here. So let's just say
Okay.
hi, Dawn. We're wishing you the best in your medical procedure.
Yeah.
Hope it all goes well.
But my
And
mother
we'll see
used
you
to say to
soon.
me, Ronnie, when are you going to grow up? And I said, I'm never going to grow up, Ma. I'm going to stay as young as I can forever. And I believe that a young mind makes a young body. If you think old, you become old. I'm still a teenager, a kid. I enjoy Halloween, dressing up. I enjoy stupid things, my crazy humor. I even enjoy this thing next to me. What's his name again? What's your name?
Yeah.
What was your name? Oh, yeah, I remember. You're my husband, Jimmy.
Yes.
I could be mean.
That's just funny. So, all right. So, real quick, you guys, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. You get to hear the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell all over the place. You can hear us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, Amazon Prime, and SoundCloud. We're on about 150 more, but those are the big ones. It's a lot of fun. We thank everybody for tuning in every week. And we went up on the rankings. You know, we were number 11 for the best celebrity interview podcast, and now we're number 10. We went up one spot. So I
you
guess they
see,
change all the time. So we want to thank everybody for
I'm not going to
listening.
be happy till we're like number 1 or 2 or 3.
We're going to get there. We'll get there.
I hope so.
We're
Wouldn't
new
that
to
be
the
nice?
list.
You know, we've been working hard on this show, and I have to put up with this jerk for how many years? 14, 11 years? I love him, though. I really
10
love him.
years.
I love Jimmy to death. He's it for me till death do part, and that's for sure. But he just annoys me. Does your husband or your wife annoy you sometimes where you want to punch them in the face, but you can't because then you get arrested and they sue you and you go to jail? But I mean,
Yeah, right.
better still, you know what? I had a cousin. I will not name her. Gorgeous cousin. She looked like Jane Russell also. And she had a husband who she found out cheated on her. So I said to her, how are you going to handle it? She said, oh, it's okay. I just spit in his food every time I cook. And I sit back and I smile as he's eating the food I spit in. And I thought, wow, how Sicilian is that? That's so totally Italian Sicilian. Anyway, she never, ever forgave him, ever. Till his death and until her passing also. She's passed away. She never forgave him. She said, the only thing I ever asked my husband to do for me was not cheat. And he didn't cheat once. He had a girlfriend for a very long time. But my cousin was very smart. She had him followed. She caught the son of a bitch, and she tortured him for the rest of his life.
You ready for our guest?
I'm ready for our guest. Yeah, that was
All right, you
gossip.
guys. I know.
Everybody
Ron's
likes a little bit of
tidbits.
gossip, right? Don't we like a little dish?
So now we're going to bring on our first guest, everybody. His name is Michael James Lazar,
Yes,
and,
it is.
and he's got a long-ass name.
It's not longer than most. I mean, there's a lot of people with long names.
Yeah, that's true.
If
Bring
I
him
were
in.
to use my real name, forget it. We've taken up the whole screen.
Hey,
There you are.
say something. Let's make sure we can hear you.
Can you hear me loud and clear? It should be working.
Yes, we can see you and we can hear you. All right, now then we're going to make a good introduction for you. All right, everybody.
Hey guys.
Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the super cool and super talented Michael James Lazar. Hello and welcome to the show. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I
Before we
appreciate
get
it.
started, I know you know Ron, but we do this anyway. So this is my
All right.
cool, outrageous
I'll make
man about
believe
town
I'll make
co-host Ron
believe
Russell.
I'll make believe I don't know him. Oh, what a pleasure it is to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you again, Ron.
Yeah, right. You know, it's bullshit. Fucking show is such a bullshit.
Nice
But
to meet
show business is all full of shit anyway. So,
So then we've got a chat room with people filling up in the chat room.
Right
Say
on.
hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi guys.
There you go.
Thank you for being here.
There you go. So, hey, everybody, I'm going to give you guys an intro to Michael. So, we first met Michael about a year ago on the roof of the Roosevelt Hotel for an Emmy party for Sean
that's
Kanan's
the first
show,
time we met him.
Studio City.
That was
Yes.
the first time. Yeah.
And it was on the roof of it, and Studio City was nominated for a bunch of Emmy Awards. And then we met Michael again at Michelle Kanan's birthday party 2 weeks ago in Palm Springs, where he was dressed up as a
breathalyzer.
breathalyzer with
And
had a thing on his penis that you blow to find out how much you how big
the
you are.
blowhole was.
You know what? If I did that, they would have crucified me. You got away with murder. You know, I do little bit things, and they call me vulgar and stuff. But that was a biggie.
I
and I liked the girls. They kept blowing it too.
It was clever. It was a very clever,
very clever.
fun costume.
It was very clever.
And then Saturday night, he was also with us at Halloween Hotness at Madame Tussauds.
Do we ever post a picture of him? Yeah, we did. Facebook, folks, go to my page or Jimmy's page.
Yeah, we have a picture of
and
you
you'll
in
see
your
a picture of him
breathalyzer outfit.
with the blow thing.
So you
It's quite
guys,
funny.
Michael's an actor, and the reason we met him originally is because he is part of the cast of Studio City, Sean and Michelle Kanan's
Did you know
show
today's Sean
that won an
Cannon's
Emmy.
birthday? Today's
Today's
Sean
Sean's
Cannon's birthday today.
Wait. You cut out for a second. What was that?
Sean Cannon's birthday is
I
today.
do know. Yes, absolutely, I do. Yeah,
Oh,
and
so
he's. Yeah, I absolutely.
We wish him a happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, buddy. I love you.
I love him too.
He's so busy for this next month. We're gonna connect up when he gets back in town early
he's
December.
He's leaving in like 5 days, I think, to go to
Yeah. He's hitting
all
Italy.
over the place.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I'm trying to get Michelle and Sean to our house for dinner, and it's impossible because he keeps saying to me, "Ron, we've got to catch up. We have to talk. I say, "Well, where the fuck are you? We can't ever find you." I mean,
I know.
Thank God you're all over the place.
I know. He's super busy. I go, let's catch up. He's like, yeah, after I get back from Italy, Dubai, names like 4 of the places. And I'm like, oh my God, man.
It's all over.
Just
It's wonderful.
hit me up whenever the hell you're free.
That's right.
Well, you know, if your career keeps going the way it's going, one day you're going to be just as busy and traveling the world too.
Yeah, I hope so. My passport's ready.
Well,
It's been ready.
You're a good actor. You're a good actor. A few lessons from me, you'd be a great actor. But you know, I don't have the time.
I just, you know what I need? I need the being able to cry on cue though.
Oh, it's easy to cry.
You know
on.
that.
So you haven't had to do
that
that yet.
That's what you're
I'm
doing.
almost there.
That's what you're doing wrong. When people cry, they do not squint. When people cry, their eyes are open and they just start to cry like this. Because it's just I don't know what. I didn't do anything, officer. Don't arrest me. I didn't rape her. He did. Get the black man. He raped
I'm
her.
looking at the greats cry with their eyes open. The ones who fake it, the Will Ferrells and the Adam Sandlers, they
Oh, the actors I hate.
Yes.
No, I can't stand the actors that do this. She's dead. Oh, that's true.
oh yeah.
They cry in their hand.
Give me a second. Yeah.
Oh, shit. I can cry on cue.
That's a dead giveaway.
All I do is think of my marriage to Jimmy, and the tears just keep coming and coming and coming. I love him. I really love him.
You're drawn from that real life experience.
Yeah. So tell me now, I'm going to pry. Gay or straight?
You met his wife.
No, shut up, Jimmy. The fuck are you? The guest? I'm doing this for our audience. You know, they don't know. I mean, I work with this moron. I'm going to commit suicide soon. So wait, gay or
Yes.
straight?
Yes.
Okay. Married or
Very straight.
single?
I'm sorry. Oh, married of
To whom? To a beautiful girl, I bet.
my wife Marlo of 7 years. We have 2 amazing kids.
Good
And,
for you.
And let me tell you, folks who are not married out there, it is tough, especially in these days. I feel like the pandemic ripped so many couples apart, right? Like it tested the strength of relationships.
I know. That's why my next question to you is: you got $3,000 to lend me to divorce the son of a bitch? The pandemic wears on. No, Jimmy and I are together 24/7. We go everywhere together. We're like Siamese twins.
I work from home. I work from home.
I'm with him.
Oh, there you go. That'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, no, I love it. If he goes to the store, he said, "Honey, I'm going to the grocery store," or he'll say, "Honey, I'm going to be out in the backyard." Everywhere he goes now, he tells me where he's going to go. Like I care. Right? I'm interested. He's going to the bathroom, but That's what they'll say to me. Oh, I'm going to the bathroom now. I'll say, let's celebrate.
Or don't forget the flip side. Where are you going to? Don't forget the where are you going. That's important.
If I don't tell him, then he'll ask me where I'm going. So
Exactly.
I just tell him.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going here, but where are you going though? Where are you going?
oh, is your wife, because you're good looking, is your wife jealous of you?
No. At least I don't think I haven't had sex.
Well, don't bullshit me. She's not jealous. If you're naked in bed with another hot chick making a movie and you're kissing, you mean tell me she's not a little annoyed that you have to wear a jock strap to keep it down?
I haven't had those scenes yet.
Well, when you do,
but yeah, I feel like she would. There would probably be a lot of conversation around that. So
conversation, a lot of punches in the face. What do you mean?
there could be that too. I would hope not. I'd hope not.
No, because I have a very good friend of mine who is a very famous actor. I won't give his name. And he has problems when he does those love scenes with women. He gets a big erection. So they tape it down. They actually put tape from his penis around to his butt.
Yeah.
And he said sometimes the tape breaks. So I said to him, aren't you lucky? Keep bragging. But his wife has difficulty with it. Yeah. And I've spoken to her about it. And I questioned her. And she said, Ron, it's the thought that he is having sex with her that turns him on and that I'm jealous of. I said, listen, he's a man. Get a hole, put hair around it, and the man jumps on it. It doesn't matter. It could be in the wall, a hole in the wall. Put some hair around it, and man will jump on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I mean, and it's funny because I've heard a lot of actors talk about it, and it really is awkward. If you look at all those actors from Euphoria and then talk about the love scenes, they'll tell you how awkward it was and how, strange it is and how they approach it like a job. It's not what people think out there.
Well, let's put it this way. What if you were in a movie with Angelina Jolie and you had to lick her nipples?
Maybe he doesn't like Angelina Jolie, though.
No, I love her. And she's a sweet person. It would be, you know what? It would be.
I love her. I love her too.
It would be strange because a lot of these people are friends first, right? And then you have to work with your friend on camera.
Right.
And
that's
do
weird.
And feel right. So
that's weird.
Right. It'd be strange, but you would you would do it, right? Like that's.
Yeah.
But Lorene Landon, that hot, sexy broad, Lorene Landon, that everybody would love to bang. Everybody wants to bang her forever. She's so hot and sexy. Played my wife in a movie, and we had to make out. Lorene and I are best friends. I mean, we're like brother and sister.
She came to our house for Thanksgiving.
So while we're doing the scene, I'm on a bar stool with my legs open. She comes between my legs, and like a son of a bitch that she is, and she loves to joke, she started sliding up and down my crotch and rubbing her boobs on my crotch. Of course, they never used that scene. But I told them they should have. She did it as a joke. Then she's licking my neck. And then when we kissed, she stuck her tongue in my mouth. She's funny. She did it as a joke. And I just thought, my God, this is so uncomfortable. But you know what? Joe said he's going to use it as an outtake in one of the movies.
I like love.
Oh, I would have given anything to see your face when that was happening.
Well, I was laughing my head off. I mean, they couldn't use the scene because it was nothing to do with the actual scene.
Right.
So wait, let's ask you a hypothetical question. So then,
if I were totally straight, I would have probably unzipped my pants and grabbed her head. I don't care. On camera,
hold on, cut, damn it.
So if you were going to make a movie and you had to make have a love scene with someone, like who would your first pick be? If it could be anybody. And it can't be your wife because I know that would be your first choice.
Is your wife an actress?
No, she's not.
You're going to get your ass kicked. I would keep my mouth shut.
I know, right? With this answer.
Let's go on. Next question. Right. He's a dead man. We're never going to see him.
That's why I specified that he's.
Michael, we will never see you at another event.
Look at Ron. Ron's trying to protect me right now.
And that's the next event, your funeral. She's going to bust your ass open. No, let's change it. If you had to make love to a man, what man?
At least you won't get in trouble.
At least she won't get worried. You know what? Sometimes in a movie you have to do that.
Let's see here. Will Smith, very handsome man. Very handsome.
There you go, Will Smith. He said Will Smith, very handsome man.
Will Smith?
That's funny. All right, so let's go back.
With me, it would be Jason.
Oh yeah, he likes
Jason Statham.
Statham.
Oh,
He likes-
Statham's an
I love him.
amazing person.
He's
Yeah,
a great actor.
great.
He's
Yeah,
something new and exciting. I love how he
Incredible.
beats up 8 and 10 people at once.
So hang on, you guys. First of all, you guys, if you want to follow Michael on Instagram, he's MJ Lazar, Lazar. So an M, a J, and Lazar for Michael James Lazar.
go
we're-
follow. I post
yeah.
interesting stuff.
Follow him.
You have beautiful teeth.
Thank you.
How often do you brush?
Once a week.
No, you're full of shit. No, seriously.
No. I brush. I mean, it's a thing where I remember as a kid, like I really had a hard time brushing, like I just did not like doing it. But as an adult, I probably do it after every meal. Just because you know how you feel things like in your teeth and you just ate and you want to, it just feels weird,
I do that too.
Well, if you're
Even now.
when you're working on a set, sometimes the roach coach has garbage food that sticks to your teeth.
Right.
Well, you have to brush it. Carol Burnett brushed her teeth about 8 times a day.
Oh,
And most said she never got a cavity. So
Oh.
there is something to brushing.
oh,
I brush all the time. If I'm working on a film,
Right.
I will put mints in my mouth. I put
Oh.
brushing because
absolutely.
you don't want to,
Absolutely.
you don't want your coworker to go,
No, you're absolutely because
Yes,
you're working in such close proximity with everyone. So I have a little bag of all my leather bag of all my
puddings. I have one too.
bathroom utensils, and so I'll bring that, put it in my trailer, and as often as I'm able to go back and brush, I'll do it.
Next question. Did you enjoy working on Studio City?
I did. It was a unique experience working on Studio City. Prior to that, Sean and I. So originally, Studio City's concept was something a little bit different. And Sean, the way I met Sean is because he lived in my building, and so we lived in the same place. And he had a script, and he was like, I got the script. We're gonna do a cold read, a table read. And I want to hear this roll out loud. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went down, we did a table read, and it was more of I want to say it was more of a comedy, to be honest. Not so much of a
Really?
comedy.
Really?
Yeah. And it was fast paced and it was hilarious. And this was I think only like a first or second draft. And
We watched every one of them.
yeah. And it was, and so it was different than the Studio City that was released. But I really liked it.
My next question is
Hang on, because I want to talk.
fuck you. I'm talking. You talk after. My next question is a very serious question, and I want a serious actor. Things have changed for Black actors.
Mhm.
Did you ever feel like the token Black actor? They had to put a black in, so they stuck you in a movie or a film. And what did that feel like if it happened?
No, I've never felt like that.
Because-
And to be honest, if I am like one of the only Black people, I feel fortunate. I'm like,
Really?
okay, yeah.
We have a good friend, who I'm talking about, who's going to be in my movie. My buddy, who I shared my trailer with. Black actor. I won't name. And he kept saying to me, I'm the token Black in this movie.
Mhm.
And I kept saying to him, no, you're not. You're just a good actor. And we needed you in that part.
Right.
Lighting screwed up. There's a scene where I'm counting out money
Okay.
and it's a dark room. All you saw was his teeth and eyeballs.
Oh no.
And they left
He has
it
nice teeth like you, and
they
it
left
looks
it in the movie.
And
they
he's a
left
darker skinned guy. He's probably a darker skinned guy.
He's darker than you are.
Rufus, he's cool.
Rufus, maybe you know Rufus. He's
Wait a
the
second.
one-
Whoa. Tall guy, right?
Rufus Dorsey,
Handsome,
yeah, cool guy, really good looking
handsome.
tall guy.
Yeah.
Only, only loves blondes with great big tits. He's a wolf. I
know
love
who you're talking
Rufus
about.
is a good buddy of mine. And when I saw the film, I almost
We
died.
were like laughing because it was so
Oh,
funny.
I laughed after I died because at first I went, oh my God. And then I laughed because I remember this stupid guy lighting it. He wanted a dark, sort of mysterious, spooky
Right.
effect. But they lit it for 2 white guys. They didn't light it for the Black guy. So I kind of was pissed off about that.
It's what, and that's so tricky when you have a darker skinned black person and you have a white person or a lighter skinned person, and you're trying to set the tone in the lighting, and it
Very hard.
has to be challenging. It has to be extremely
Very.
challenging.
Well,
Yeah.
I got very tan because I've been going to the pool. I stopped going in the sun because I'm filming another month.
Mhm.
And I know if I get almost your color. I'm a little bit
Oh.
lighter. I'm Italian. You know, Italians are like black
Oh
people,
yeah, you guys get dark.
very dark.
You
So
guys-
I know that when we film, they have difficulty because they light the other guy and I come out blurry. It's anyway, yes. That's
So, hey, I
why
wanna go into
Sophia
other
Loren
things.
had that problem. Sophia
Yeah.
Loren always
Mhm.
was black as anything. And when she shot, they had to do special lighting on her. And then Cary Grant was dark, so it was okay. But when Sophia was with an actor who wasn't dark, they had a lot of trouble.
Oh wow, yeah, I can see that.
So it is a
I
lighting
want to brag
problem.
first of all. Okay, so first of all, you guys, Studio City. For anybody who doesn't know what it is, it's an Emmy-winning dramedy. It's on Amazon Prime. Some of the people in it,
And who wrote it?
Sean Kanan, Michelle Kanan wrote it. Sean Kanan, Aaron Michelle Soto, Philip Bruin, Tristan Rogers, Natalie Byrne, Carolyn Hennessy, Anna Maria Horsford, Michelle
love
Kanan, Ron Moss. We've had everybody on our show except Natalie Byrne. Now that we've and Philip, there's only two left besides you. Everybody else has been on the show of those people.
Anna Maria? Is Anna Maria?
Yeah,
on
oh
there?
yeah, we had Anna Marie on the show. Yeah, she
Oh,
was
I
I
on
love
that.
her.
love Hennessy.
I love her.
Hennessy's part is so
And Anna
wonderful.
Maria. He was talking about Anna Maria
No, but I'm
Horsford.
talking. Yeah. Oh, I love Anna Maria. You couldn't see my
Yeah,
best.
she's
He
amazing.
was so great.
We were almost making out on the rooftop party at George's party. I'm in love with her. I loved her way back in early television when
Yeah.
she was that poor little girl in love with the minister who didn't give her a second look. You're too young.
Yeah.
She
I
was
know, I
in-
was like, which one was this?
way back in the 70s, I believe. She was a beautiful young girl in love with this very handsome black guy who was a minister. And he didn't even know she was alive. And she
It was
pined
a really big show.
every week. She suffered and pined over him. And I fell in love with her character and her then. So
Right.
when we met her, I was so excited because she's somebody I really admired for so many years. She has a wonderful voice, the
Yeah.
little crack in it.
Yeah.
And when she talk, and she's adorable. And in person, forget it.
And as Medea's friend in the Medea Christmas movie,
Funny.
she's freaking awesome.
She's great.
And she's in
so
Hacks
great.
too. She's in Hacks.
You know, you
Yeah,
have to,
yeah.
I love Hacks.
you have to
Yeah.
be careful today when you praise black actors because people think you're full of shit. You're just saying it because it's the in thing to do now to help the black people. I don't believe in that shit. Black, white, green, orange, or purple. If you're a good actor, you're a good actor. I
Yeah.
adore you. I love her. You know what? I was with Cece Pennington. Finally, you know Cece? The song.
Have you ever finally it has happened to me. Anyway,
CC, CC Pounder or CC?
CC Peniston is her
Peniston.
name.
Okay. No, I don't think I know.
And I was talking to her about somebody, and she said, "Oh, the black girl." I said, "You know, I have no idea. I never really noticed." And she was so proud of me. She said, "Ron, swear to God." I said, "You know, Cece, I never really thought about it. I just liked her. You know, I come from Brooklyn. I come from New York. I went to school with black people, Puerto Rican people. So for me, it's no big deal. But a lot of these areas out here, you know, the whitey areas, they faint. They don't get it. And I don't want to get political, but
You're getting
no, but I
political.
just wanted to make the point for my viewers that I don't kiss anybody's ass or blow smoke up anybody's ass unless I believe what they do is good. This
Right.
is a handsome black man. He's a good actor, and more power to him. And go
And we're
get,
gonna brag
go
about some
get
of the
that
great
fucking
things that he's
go
been
get
in.
that fucking Oscar.
Wait, tell us though. Tell everybody who you are in Studio City. You play
Right.
Brian. Tell them who your
Brian.
character is.
I play Brian. I play Brian, Sean's agent, or Sam, Sam's agent, which is Sean Kanan's character, Sam. And
Right.
you know, Studio City, it kind of came on like a whirlwind, to be honest. It was something that we knew they wanted to develop. We didn't quite know when, and when it popped up, it kind of popped up out of the blue, and they got everything going within a very short time frame. It was honestly the first time in my career since I started my career that I had to really get into this sort of not guerrilla filmmaking, but it was very, very fast and very just spontaneous. The scripts we would get because of, again, all those actors, Carolyn Hennessy,
all
Patrika Darbo, Tristan, they all come from Sean. They all come from the soap. They all come from the soap world, and the soap world moves extremely fast.
Very
Yes.
fast.
For those out there who don't know, so it was amazing to me, and it was definitely a huge learning curve for me. Because again, I was coming off of Grey's Anatomy studio, Orville and things like that. And we have time in our trailers to go over our sides. We rehearse some stuff like that. This was a little different. This was like you get your sides like 4 or 5 pages the day of, and you go right into it. So it was a huge learning curve for me. But
and if you drop your lines, they beat you up.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean,
they get really mad if you drop your lines.
Yeah, it's one of those things. On one hand, I'm really glad because the experience was really beneficial and helpful in that way, and it made you pull everything out that you knew, as an actor, how to prep and how to get ready. At the same time, my character in particular, I feel like I wish I had a little bit more prep time for that because it's so there is when you really think about Sam and my character's relationship, his agent, it's layered and there's history to that. And I wish I got to develop that a little bit more. But if we continue to go,
you try to make him, he wants to be an action star, and you're giving him like diaper commercials or some shit.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was so funny. Sean and I, we had our best moments when we could just kind of riff. I feel like when we just went off the cuff. And but of course they didn't keep those takes. So
yeah.
No, but in soaps you have to do verbatim. You cannot insert another word that's not in that script. I spoke to Sean about being on that show. There was almost a role for me playing Sean's father who raped his mother.
Oh,
I don't think they ever shot that anyway. So Sean said,
"No, they never shot that."
He said, "But Ron, you can't remember lines." I said, "Of course I can't. I'm 82 years old. How can I remember lines?" I said, "But I will know all my lines because Jimmy talks them to. I have an earplug, and every movie I make, I don't even know those lines. I remember some of them maybe, but Jimmy feeds me my cue lines." So I'm wonderful. I never drop a line, and people think I'm brilliant.
You're like Brando. Brando used to do that. Remember that?
Everybody does that.
Johnny
De Niro. They're all doing it.
And that famous one that everybody loves, the old lady. What's her name? Everybody wants to be in the movie with her.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. She uses one. When you get to be a certain age, who?
She
Meryl.
I don't know that she does. I know the other people.
No,
do.
Meryl Streep uses an earplug. Listen, when you get to be near 80, you don't remember too much of anything.
Yeah, true.
It's age.
I don't want to say true. Like I know this. I don't know that. I would hope.
How old are you? 30? What are you? 30? All of 30?
36.
36. You got a long way to go.
You got a long way to go.
But
I hope I make it to 80.
Yeah.
When I was your age, I come from New York. I did stage, and I remember everything.
Yeah.
I had no problem.
Right.
Now I read it over and over again. Then I go on the set and I go, ooh, what was the line?
He actually remembers the lines a lot of the times, but he doesn't remember where they go. Like he doesn't remember what the cue line is before his line.
Right.
So that's a lot of times he knows the line pretty much. I just have to give him a little bit to
once
to
he
get
gives
it going.
me the lead. All he has to do is give me the lead, and I'm right there.
Okay.
But I forget. In other words, when you read a script, you have your passage, their passage.
Yeah.
I can sometimes skip a passage and go to the third passage, which has nothing to do with the second passage. So that's the problem.
But in the meantime, he's got 6 films coming up, so he's
and
working.
I just put about 4 in the can.
Now, are you behind the camera with that too? Are you producing these?
I produce.
Yeah, he produced.
I produce.
Okay, so I know you produced, Jimmy. I wasn't sure if you produced.
No, Ron doesn't produce. Ron's talent.
I'm just talent.
Okay.
Ron's talent. I'm like the go find the money guy, and then
I've been in acting 64 years.
Wow.
And I love when they say to Ron Russell, an overnight hit. Yeah, 64 years worth of an overnight hit.
Yeah.
You love that?
Yeah, you gotta love that, right? Oh, we've just seen you. Where have you been? Wow, this is amazing. It's like I've
took
been
me 64 years to get where I am today.
Right.
Boy, oh boy, was that a schlep.
Well, okay, so wait, we're gonna do some bragging. So, because you've done extensive television, and I mean, like, not television like on
Without an earplug.
yeah, without an earbud.
Without an earplug.
He's done extensive television. So, you guys, here's some of the shows that he's been on: Grey's Anatomy, The Orville, I'm Dying Up Here. That's the only one I didn't know. Lethal Weapon, Super High, Bones, Jane the Virgin, Criminal Minds, Army Wives, Big Time Rush, Animal Kingdom, Roar. This Is Us, like the biggest show on the fucking planet. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, As We See It, 911. I mean, those are all huge.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you that I never saw you on Big Time Rush, but I love those musical parody kids show things. And you played a rapper on there. Did you actually rap?
Oh yeah, I did. That was actually I did. That was actually my very, very first role, major speaking role that I ever booked. I believe that was like back in 20. I didn't even have an agent. I think this was funny. I was still doing background work. I want to say this was back in 2009-ish. And it just so happens that whoever was supposed to fill this little slot for this montage they were shooting for Big Time Rush either didn't show up or something, whatever it was. And so the background agency I was with was like, hey, can you rush to, where was this at? Can you rush to Paramount and shoot this? I was like, absolutely. And it's a speaking role. Are you kidding me? Tell me how soon I need to be there. I'll get all my shit. I'm coming. And so, I got there, and it was my first speaking role. And so, it was, I had to rap. They were doing this montage. I had a friend of mine who is an extremely talented operatic singer. And he also booked a role in that little montage. So he did his thing. I did my thing. It's a really quick clip because it's, again, this little montage part, but it was funny. It was fun.
But that was your SAG eligibility then.
That was back then. Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah. Yep.
So 2009, I thought I said 2010, but so 2000. So basically, you're like 13 years you've been acting as a speaking person.
Well, I wouldn't say that because I don't take it from when I got that, because after I got that, I really did. I had no idea about the industry. I had nothing. So I really take it from when I booked my first television role, like with my agent, which was 2013. But,
okay.
I guess we could take it back to them because I was doing theater. I was at that time, like, I'm rooted in theater. I'm rooted on the stage. So up like from like 2007, 6 up until about 2009 or 10, I was doing a lot of theater, tons of theater, background work. And then around 2012, 2013, I finally started to wrap my head around this industry thing, right? And got an agent, and that's when I booked Army Wives, which was my first role. And then from there,
it was a big show. It was a big show.
Michael, I firmly believe the best actors came from the stage.
Absolutely.
If you don't have stage experience, you don't have film quality. Every actor that I know that's been terrific has been stage.
It's giving me goosebumps
so much.
Yeah.
You have 350 people listening to you, and you have to make them cry, laugh, or be frightened. Is a thrill. Yeah. I miss performing.
People I'm actually gonna I'm looking into it right now. I have a friend of mine who is performing all over in the theater right now in Los Angeles. And he was like, hey man, you want me to introduce you to some the theater casting directors that are going on, that are happening right now, that are casting? I'm like, absolutely. So I'm I'm probably going to get back on the stage very soon. So
you need to. It sharpens your brain. It makes you sharper.
Absolutely.
And Michael, where are you from?
I'm sorry?
Where are you from originally?
Oh, Los Angeles. I'm from here.
Oh, so you're in LA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm not hardcore New York. I know you New Yorkers in your theater. That's New York audience business.
I like my audiences if they were primarily Jewish or mafia. Then really, Italians are the best audience, and Jewish. The WASPs are difficult because they sit there and they don't make any expressions. You don't know if they like it or they don't.
I was going to say it has to be at the end when the production is done.
Jewish people and Italian people are with you every word you say. It's wonderful. I do miss performing. I don't call myself an actor. People say, "Are you an actor?" I say, "No, I'm a performer."
Yeah.
Because I performed in television, stage, and film. So basically, you're a performer as well. Because
absolutely.
Do you sing? Like, do you do musicals? He sang.
Oh, you sing? No. I'm a horrible singer.
I also swept the stage floor. I also helped paint sets. I also sewed costumes that ripped.
Really?
I did everything.
Oh, you
Roll-
know what? So I never sewed costumes, but here's another little tidbit. I worked again when I was trying to find my way into the industry and what I want to do. I worked on Iron Man 1 as an assistant costumer. Isn't
Oh,
that
I
crazy?
saw that on your. I
Well,
saw that on your.
I'm
Isn't that
proud.
random? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm proud to say that I did all of Hermione Gingold's wigs for High Spirits because I was going to hairdressing school and they got us students to go set the wigs and then the hairstylist would comb them out. Well, I did
Really?
a good job combing out the wig. They hired me. I got $15 a night, $15 a night for
Ooh.
combing out the wigs before showtime for Hermione Gingold and Tammy Grimes.
He doesn't know who
Wow.
These are old stars of wonderful stars, but
I don't even know who they are.
I got
so-
to know what the backstage was and downstage
Oh
before I
yeah.
actually worked on a stage.
It's like a whole nother world that just comes to
It's
life.
fabulous.
And the other great thing I love about the stage is that there are no do-overs. You're
No.
there, you're there and you're present and whatever happens. I did it. There's a guy named, I don't know if you know what, you might be familiar with him. Do you know who George Murdoch is?
I know the name, but I don't know who he is.
I know Murdoch.
Right. Okay. So George Murdoch was in a ton of television back in the 60s and the 50s, and he was on Bonanza. He had a pretty long-standing role in Bonanza and a lot of other great productions. But we did a production, a theater production, and it was based on the Chicago 7. So it was called the Chicago Conspiracy Trial, and we did it at the Odyssey Theater in West LA back in, I want to say this was probably around 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. And there would be nights where he would have a long monologue because he played the judge, right, ruling over the trial, and he would forget chunks of the monologue and skip over literally pages of the production.
How old was it?
And we would just pick up right where it was, and no one would think twice about it. And we would just go from wherever he left off. You know what I mean? And it was so
Well, I
amazing.
love directors that say to me, listen, Ron, you don't have to do word verbatim. Do what you feel. We hire you as an actor. We want you to do your best.
Right.
And I get freedom of lines. I love it because
Right.
I rewrite half of their lines for them, especially when I always play a gangster, a mafia guy. I wonder why, right? But my accent. And sometimes LA people don't know how to write Brooklyn Mafia. It's not, oh, shuck, darn heck, I'm going to kill you.
Right.
That's not Brooklyn. Brooklyn is you're going to get it. I'm going to plug you. You know
Right.
what I mean? There's a whole different thing.
Yeah. I
So
mean, there might not
like-
even.
This goes to my next question. Do you like a director that gives you freedom, or would you prefer to stick verbatim to the lines, to the script?
Well, so and that was a big thing with Studio City for me, right? Because I like a director. Here's what I like. I like the directors who have a vision, right? I like to know their vision. I don't want to guess. I have my vision of the character, but the story and where you see the character and you kind of know where my character fits as far as your entire vision of the project. And of a particular episode or whatever it is that you're shooting.
Yeah.
So I like to know the director's vision. I like to work collaboratively, but I also like to have the freedom to play with things if something doesn't feel right. Right. So
He likes that too.
it should be a collaborative effort. I'm not such a stickler on something where I'm like, I need to have it this way or else I'm not doing it. It's more of, I do want your input. I do want to know where you see this. If I'm way too far left, let me know. If I'm too far right, let me know. Because I want to execute it the way that it should be executed. So yeah, and every director I've worked with, Grey's Anatomy, none more than Grey's Anatomy. Shout out to Allison Liddy Brown, who directed that episode. She's a phenomenal director, incredibly talented, incredibly specific with every moment. And she's directed a lot of Scandal, Grey's Anatomy. But those scenes are, they're so specific and so tight every word of dialogue you believe, and because she doesn't move on until she gets that from the actors. So that's what.
I write dialogue.
Yeah.
I wrote a movie, and everybody that's read the script said, "Oh my God, the dialogue is incredible." I said,
Yeah.
because I come from a dialogue generation.
Mhm.
In my day, dialogue was so important. It established the beginning, the middle, and the end of a film or a play. Today, they don't have that. I believe, and I'm going to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Are you a stickler for continuity in a script? Some scripts you read, it starts off they're on the moon, then two
Right.
pages later they're in the sewer, and then three pages later they're on an airplane. And you say, how the fuck did they get all those places? I want to
Yeah,
know
I mean, it has to make sense. It has to make sense
continuity.
in the context of what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Like it has to. You know, the show, the film. I was talking to a friend about this the other day because we're actually developing a project right now. But the films that have been greenlit that piss me off are all those a lot of those spoof films. So like, Meet the Spartans, which had all, and that's just one because I saw it on HBO the other day. And I had to rewatch it because I was like, it couldn't have been as bad as when I watched it way back.
It was bad.
And it really, really is, because they just set up these jokes. They just have these setups, and it's a film of just the setup, your punchline, your setup, and then your punchline. And
Is it a comedy?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a comedy.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a comedy.
I didn't think the Scary Movie ones were that bad, but the one that made fun of 50 Shades of Grey the ones that made fun of that one was really fucking bad.
Oh, it's bad. It was so bad, Ron. And they have a string of those. So Scary Movie, the first 2 or 3 that were directed by the Wayans,
they were pretty good. Those
were good, right? Those were really solid because there was a through line. There was a story. There was a storyline behind all the spoofy things they did along the way. But there was a story, right? They went to a house. They had to figure out
continuity,
right? The newer ones, there's no story. They're just a bunch of setups, jokes, and
most films that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get a lot of scripts through my computer because they want me to give them to Jimmy, so Jimmy funds their movie. Right. So everybody and their mother sends me a script. I don't bother reading more than 5 lines of a script because I know immediately it's a piece of shit, or it's not going to go anywhere. Right. Or the guy that wrote it was a psycho. He just got out of a nut house and talking about his life. Who gives a shit? And I find that writing today stinks. Lillian Hellman, I don't think you know who that is. Lillian Hellman was a German writer who wrote for Broadway years ago. Betty Davis only wanted to work in a Broadway play that she did because the dialogue, the storyline was incredible. What I don't understand is why the young writers today, maybe they blow a lot of dope or they smoke too much, I don't know, pot, but they don't seem to be involved with it. They don't seem to be in the moment. Like I keep telling Jimmy in a lot of the scripts that we have, why is there no character? I don't know who this character is. There's no character description.
Development.
He doesn't, not even development description. I would write, and the gangster looked in the mirror and he saw his mustache needed shaving or trimming. Now we know that the gangster had a mustache. You know what I mean? That sort of a thing.
Oh, you mean like the not, I don't want to call it the exposition, but like the direction before the dialogue?
No, not direction. God forbid you write direction in a script, they throw your script in the garbage. Oh no. No, there's no such thing as direction. No, what I'm trying to say is, okay, here she is. I'm a beautiful blonde with very big tits, and I'm looking in the mirror naked, and I love my body. That's the line.
Oh.
That's thinking to herself. So now at least we know. It's a very bad illustration, but you get the point.
Yeah.
They don't write that way. What they write is Johnny walked into the room and Mary said hello. Well, who the fuck is Johnny and who the fuck is Mary? Do I give a shit about them? I don't. I don't care if Johnny and Mary.
He never cares about any in the horror movies. Well, he doesn't really watch horror movies. I watch all of them, but he's just but we go to a lot of them,
and I'm in them
to see because he's in them, and he's like, "Who cares when these people die? Nobody gives a shit. They don't know who they are. They don't. There's no.
Yeah.
You don't have any.
That's true.
Example. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, the original with Janet Leigh and Tony Perkins.
Right.
10 minutes of the film, we grew to love Janet Leigh's character. And
But
then
that-
she
but
was
it-
murdered in the shower. Boy,
isn't
did that
But that's the point, though, right? Like when it comes to horror films, we care about Laurie Strode. We care about Janet Leigh's character. We care about who else? We care about Sidney Prescott, right? In the Screams. But the other characters, do we really? I mean, are they meant to be cared about? Or I mean, not so
Well,
much. I mean, we cared in the first Scream. We did care about some of her friends, like her who was it? Rose McGowan that played.
Yeah, I cared about it. I liked a whole bunch of them.
Right,
And
we
I
did.
knew all the shit about the movies and stuff.
Exactly.
When he didn't get killed until the second one.
Exactly, right?
So
So
I
I mean,
like those
they
people.
can't. I think that the focus is still on the main character, though, right? In horror, and I don't
Yes.
know. I don't really know. That's something I really haven't thought about the way horror is written, because it is a very specific type of writing, right? Like the way you write those
Yes.
stories. Yeah.
Hang on, I want to switch this a little bit. So first of all, I want to say congrats because like your TV roles are big. You were in because two of the shows that you in the last 10 years, probably or 12 years, Grey's Anatomy and This Is Us, probably like two of the biggest TV shows like of that time frame, you know.
Yeah.
And so you got to be on both of them. And I
Mhm.
think Animal Kingdom right now is like a pretty big show also.
Yeah.
You know Mike Ferguson, the guy with all the tattoos? Do you know Mike Ferguson? Because
I
he was
never
in
met Mike. No, I think no, I never met Mike. No.
Okay.
Michael scared the shit out of you if you see him.
But he's the nicest
he's
guy
a
on the
pussy
planet.
cat. He's a lamb. He's a pussy cat in a,
You
in
know,
a horror.
yeah,
Scary. Very
I got to
bright.
work with the main brothers when we shot our two. I think 2 episodes, right? Yeah, so I was in 2 of those episodes. I think with the current season. Yeah, because they're on their last season right now. So yeah, I was.
I haven't watched the show, but I heard it's really good. Ron's daughter watched it. She said it's really good.
It is really good. They do a good job. I mean, if that's kind of your thing, because they're taking it from the family lives in Oceanside, and they're giving a lot of props to Oceanside and that whole beach city, and they what's her name? Ellen Barkin is kind of the lead of the.
I
she's
love
the
Ellen
grandmother. Yeah, she's the grandmother, and she leads this group.
Love her. Love
But
her.
isn't it basically like about it's kind of like the mafia, but it's not really the mafia.
No, I mean, no, they're not really. No,
Are they
they're
like
not
a
really
drug
mafia.
family or something, like a drug cartel family or something.
No, they're not even a drug cartel. They're just a family of thieves. They
Oh, okay.
They're
We
just
should
a
watch-
family of thieves, and the grandmother is the ringleader of them all. And so it's like she takes all of her grandsons and like teaches them how to, how to do this life and how to do it, in a safe way, so they're never caught. And
And they
so
don't
yeah,
get
they just they go for like the high end heists, and yeah, that's what they do. And so, but it's funny. I mean, there's a lot of drama. There's sex. There's girlfriends. There's the beach. There's the you have it all set in this beach town, in Oceanside, and yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely an interesting show.
All right, so
6 seasons. Yeah, 6 seasons.
here's my hypothetical then for you, because we've only got a couple of minutes till our next
Okay.
guest come on. All right, bucket list. Now you've been on a bunch of shows with some really huge stars, but bucket list, male and female actor that you'd love to work with, that you haven't had a chance to work with yet. And the second part of the question is, if you could work with, if you could have been in any movie ever made in history, what movie would you have liked to have been in?
Oh wow, that's a really wow, man. Okay. Oh, whew. I have 2 of those. I had 2 of those films, right?
Okay.
I think so. The first 2 that I would love to work with, Daniel Day-Lewis would, man.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
That's a
amazing
good pick.
actor.
I mean,
Amazing.
if there's any actor out there who I just want to sit down with, talk to, or work with, it'd be Daniel Day, because he's on a level that I think is just
Way
far
above everybody.
He
yeah,
is a good
and I've seen a lot of them work. I've seen a lot of the greats work, but there's just something about his work that is unmistakably far surpasses everyone else. But so Daniel Day-Lewis, and I would probably say
Four Corners.
no, I don't. I don't know. I think I love Meryl Streep. I've worked with Viola on How to
Right.
Get Away with Murder.
What a great show that is, too. That's a
Yeah.
great show.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I mean, it
He's
was
a good
so
actor
quick.
also.
It was such a quick scene, so I didn't really get the time with her. but I'd love to work with either one of those women. They're incredible.
Okay.
So I would say I put them at the same, Meryl and Viola. And then films, there's 2 of them that I would have loved to have been in. Black Panther 1. Oh my God.
Okay.
Would love to have had any role. I don't care. It could have been clicking my tongue, and I would have been in that film. I don't care. I'd have loved to have been a part of that. And then Glory. Remember the film Glory?
Yeah, actually, that's a really old film.
I know.
Old film.
Denzel
But-
Washington, right? I think.
That was Denzel's first.
Oh, yes,
Oscar.
I remember that.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick, Carrie Elwes. The story and the history in that, and the way they shot it was.
That's the 80s.
Oh, Morgan Freeman. Sorry, Morgan Freeman was in it.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman.
But it was such a beautifully told and beautifully shot story, and it's based on what really happened in the 54th Regiment. A lot of people just don't know that story. So those 2 films I would have loved to be a part of. Yeah.
I love it. I think that's fabulous. And if you were going to be on a different soap opera besides Studio City,
No, he's never leaving
yeah,
studio.
no, but no, they're all on soaps. Have you ever done any other soap operas?
Well, I've been called in, and I have been called in a ton for General Hospital. What's the other
That
one?
would be mine. That's my favorite. I watched that all through college.
No,
Yeah.
Studio City's the best.
No, I know, but this is different. This
No,
is
Yeah,
different.
there's 2 of them. There's General Hospital, and there's another one that I've been called in a lot for. And
Bold and the Beautiful.
and I have booked them, but it's like one of those things where they pin you. They pin you, and you wait to see if you got the booking, and they release the pin if they're going to go with someone else or whatever. But yeah, I mean, any soap. I'm not picky. I just like, I love to work. So-
Michael, soap operas are no joke. They're hard work.
oh yeah.
I mean, very hard work. They shoot long hours
Yeah.
and fast, like you said. You get exhausted quickly. I mean,
And that's why I said, shooting Studio City was a good taste of that. But I love it. I really do love that. So if I were to work, I think I'd be more prepared now and just know what to expect and what to walk into. And yeah, I think it'd be fun. But I'm just happy to work wherever. I'm an actor. We're like, just hey, listen.
working is
just work.
yeah. I hope I work with you one day. You never know.
Me too. We
Jimmy
Jimmy
might
and I were
work
talking
with
about
you.
Jimmy
said
was talking
he'll
about
get
getting
you
me
in
into
the role.
I'm going to try and get into some of the
And
stuff
then
we're
you could
working
watch me do my
Yeah.
lines. And if you drop your line, I'll smack you right in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't drop lines. I just go and go and go. Like the
Yeah,
rabbit.
if you do that, I'm with that too. If you just keep going, I'm with it.
I'm like that.
I'll be
the
right there
rabbit
with you.
that never stops. But anyway,
So you guys,
Michael, you're terrific.
Michael James Lazar, you guys, if you need an actor, he's a phenomenal actor. You can get him on Instagram under MJLazar for Michael James Lazar. Congratulations on all your success, and I'm
Thank
only
you.
wanting huge things for you in the future. And we'll definitely be in touch.
Come back.
I will.
If
Thank you guys
no,
for having
if
me on
only-
today. This
only
was
come back after you win an Oscar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm working on that. I'm working.
And then you'll bring the Oscar with you and we'll talk about it.
We'll probably an Emmy before an Oscar. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
he's
working-
going to get an
Emmy
Emmy. Emmy's good.
Emmy is good.
I'm,
Emmy's
wor- I'm
good.
working on developing a series right now with a friend of
I
mine.
got to do a quick joke.
Okay.
Somebody on Facebook said to me, because I was talking about Sean Kanan's Emmy, and one of my people on Facebook wrote, Ron Russell, I hope you get an Emmy also, except he spelled Emmy, enema. I hope you get an enema.
Wait, it's extremely important to spell check. Extremely.
So I went hysterical when he said, I hope you get an enema soon.
I love it. All right. So Michael, thank you so much. Say hello to your lovely
Thank you,
wife.
guys.
See
Okay.
you very soon.
Bye bye.
All right, we'll do. Thanks for having me, guys.
Bye now.
Yay! All right, you guys, we're going to take a quick music break. This is Rob Son. The name of the song is Remember My Name. And when we come back, we're going to have our next guest, Faith Hibbs Clark. So please enjoy Robson. Remember My Name. Here it goes.
Yeah, hold up, let me do my thing. Hold up, let me sip my drink. You don't even know my story. You ain't ever felt my pain. Yeah, I've been through the rain when it's stormy, but I know that the weathers don't change. They telling me that life is a gamble, so I bet you gon' remember my name. This year I ain't stopping till I make my way up to the top. Been working so hard and now that I started I won't ever stop. There's no time to be lazy, gotta give everything that I got. If you don't got nothing to bring to the table, you cannot reach in my pot, no. There's no way I'm sitting around all day, chilling and twiddling my thumbs. They asking me where I get all of my talents, I told them it comes from above. I never pay attention to the hate, I'm only acknowledging love. I cannot dwell on the negative, that's how you get stuck. Hold up, let me do my thing. Hold up, let me sip my drink. You don't even know my story, you ain't ever felt my pain. Yeah, I've been through the rain when it's stormy, but I know that the weather's don't change. They telling me that life is a gamble, so I bet you gon' remember my name.
She don't even know my name, they ain't never felt my pain. I know when it's time to make a change, I know when it's time to switch lanes. I can be stuck driving on the wrong way, and I'm my pace when I'm doing what I guess. Whole lot of my tank, I don't think it gets empty. This shit ain't regular, you ain't gon' find anybody else doing everything that we do. Promise you we astronomical, it's so phenomenal. Started using my logic and all the impossible, turned it improbable. Never let me do my thing, baby can you hold my train? They didn't know me last year, now they say my last name.
Hold up, let me do my thing. Hold up, let me sip my drink. You don't even know my story, you ain't ever felt my pain. Yeah, I've been through the rain when it's stormy, but I know that the weather's don't change. They telling me that life is a gamble, so I bet you gon' remember my name.
Hey, that's Rob San, you guys. And the name of the song is Remember My Name. I found him on TikTok. He's cool. He's got millions of followers, and I really enjoy the music. So now we're going to bring on our next guest, something a little different for the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. I think it's going to be a lot of fun and interesting for everybody. So go ahead, Juan. Let's bring in Faith. Hey!
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. All right. There's a plane going
Awesome.
over at the moment. So let me do an introduction then. Hey, you guys. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, casting director, producer, acting coach, Faith Hibbs, Clark. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Hello.
So much fun. Yay. So before we get
Yay.
started, let me introduce you to my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Okay, close
Hello,
up.
Ron.
I want you to look at my face. My name is Tony
No,
Curtis,
don't do that. Yeah, he doesn't know that.
and I'm a movie star.
Nobody knows what she does.
I
yet.
know
You can't
that.
do that.
Jimmy, shut up for 2
No.
minutes.
This is his moment. This is his
No, I want to. I'm setting her up.
I know,
This
but
is called
we have to
setting
talk
up.
about it first, and we're not
Jimmy,
ready for
stop
that.
it. Stop it. I hate when he does it. I'm setting her up to the audience because now the audience is saying, what the hell is Ron doing? I want anticipation for this lady because she's incredible.
Okay, so I told him right before the song that one of the
I
things
want a divorce.
that you do is that you're a deception detection expert. So that's why he's telling you all these things. But I want to build up into that to talk about that a little bit. So you guys, this is
Since when do you direct?
Faith. Always, I got the director credit on the show.
You don't direct. Yeah, well, that's bullshit because you don't direct me.
So anyway,
You stink as a director.
so Faith, hello,
We're
and welcome to
married.
the
We're
show.
married. Can you tell we're married?
Yeah, I'm an expert on marriage. I've done it so many times. I've gotten really good at it. So
So you guys, real quick too, before we even start talking to Faith, you can follow her Instagram is Communication Method for Actors. Her website is actingscience.com and cmfatraining.com. They both go to the same site. And basically it's Communication Method for Actors. And she does all kinds of things. I don't hear an English accent. I read that you were born in England, but you don't really sound like you have an English accent.
it takes about 6 ounces of a good Merlot.
to get it to
All
come out.
comes back to me.
I love it.
Same thing with me. My Brooklyn comes back 1 hour in Brooklyn, and I'm speaking like, yeah, give me the over there, the thing over there, the green perm thing.
I love it.
Yes.
So you guys, so Faith does a bunch of different things. It's very interesting because we've only had one, I think, acting coach, first of all, come on the show in 15 years. So we've only had one. We've never had anybody who's a deception detection expert. And
That I want to know. I
and-
want you to teach me the tricks.
So
to
hang
that.
on. So there used to be a TV show on. It was my favorite show with Tim Roth. It was called Lie to Me. Did you ever see that show?
I did, and that was completely the type of work that I used to do before I got into casting. I think it was a little exaggerated come around the 4th season. You know, he would go into houses with a gun and he would snoop around. It's like they never gave me a gun, so I'm thinking that's a little bit of an exaggeration.
But it's kind of the same thing, though. Then, right? You watch facial
Absolutely, yeah.
how people react to things. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what you do. We'll give you a free game to get us started, and then we'll ask questions from there.
Okay, well, so I've been casting for 20 years, but I had sort of this career change because I used to work in, like you said, this field of deception detection. And that's the ability to read someone's body language and have a pretty good idea that if that person is lying or not lying. And if they are, or even if they're not, we have a really good idea of how they're feeling around that lie. Yes. Well, look, y'all lie 81 times per day. Those are the averages, and that you're lied to 300 times per day. And
Really?
Yes, 81 times per day. You lie 81 times
People lie
per day
81 times a day. She said, people, you, like meaning us, we lie 81 times a day. And when you're talking to other people, people lie to you 300 times a day.
I only lie when I say I love him.
Yeah, right. I'm going to write that down, though.
I'm reading your body language as you speak. So be forewarned.
I want you to know you're very beautiful. You're a pretty woman.
Oh, gosh. Thank you very much.
Very beautiful bones. I like your cheekbones and your pointy chin and your nose. These are the 3 most important elements. No, in a beautiful woman, Elizabeth Taylor, all of them. Heart shape, cheekbones, and chin. If you have the 3 points, you're a beautiful woman. Notice that if you're a good facial person, notice that in people's faces. Beautiful people have high cheekbones, pointy chins.
Wait.
I was an artist.
Thank you.
So how did you move, though, from being a detection expert to being, because you've cast, I mean, I went on your IMDb, I didn't write it all down, but you've cast like a zillion films.
Oh, she's a movie caster.
Yeah, movie casting director, yes.
Casting director.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we pivot in life, don't we? I think that the main catalyst for me changing into the film industry was I worked with a lot of trial attorneys. I worked with a lot of CEOs and even some federal agents and that type of world. But then I started working with politicians, and politicians,
biggest ponies.
They were very interested in how it was that I could detect their lie, because then they could try not to do those things. So we call that reverse engineering. And
but isn't it everything they say is a lie? So it's so easy to say, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying.
I do wonder if the numbers go up for politicians. They just, I mean, really, they never answer the questions. There's the biggest thing that they do is the avoidance.
Or they answer a question with a question.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We know very well what's going on. So now, seriously, what do you look for? Like eye quirks or something? What is it about the face that indicates they're lying?
Well, first of all, it's not just the face; it's your whole body.
Body language.
And yeah, your whole body is speaking. I think what most people don't realize, and this is one of the things I teach to actors, is that when you go through life and you run into various situations or you have conversations with people, you are actually going to show your truth, your emotions through your body language before you even have a thought, before you even know what you're thinking. So your body is like the ultimate lie detector kit, because it's going to show your emotions and how you feel before anything else, before you even have a thought about how you feel. So it's the first thing. So what I teach actors in my communication method for actors is, if you want to be believable, if you want to be honest in your acting, one of the things you have to do is you have to emotionally regulate the same way that we do in our everyday lives, which means that reaction, that body language, and that thought formation has to come first. Because if you just spit out a lie, which is the line, it's going to read like a lie. You know, I always joke and I say that
Oh,
when people get what's that?
No, it's like method acting. Method acting, when it began 100 years ago, was to tell the truth about your character, not to lie. That's the first thing they teach you in method acting is do not lie when you're being performing, because the audience can tell a liar of an actor. If you are dying, die. Don't make believe you're dying. And I think that's what you're saying. Is what
Well,
you teach. You teach
it's
that all.
actually I teach something a little bit different. I mean, I like that way of thinking. I like that thought process of, you know, they can tell when you're lying because they absolutely
Oh, yeah.
can tell when you're lying.
Camera sees everything.
What I teach is a little bit different, and it goes back to my educational background in behavioral psychology and neuroscience, is the brain can actually do something really cool for you, and actors can take advantage of this. And therefore, you know, method acting, it was this idea that you had to live these experiences for real so that they would be portrayed as real. What I teach instead is body language coding. And the way that this works, it's really quite simple. Your body shows your emotion through body language. So if you're feeling angry at your partner there, like that never happens, right?
No, I just do that for fun. That's all
So
fun.
what's the, well, you know, let's say you are feeling, what's something you might feel towards your partner, Ron?
He does get angry. Not, I mean, not on the show. That's all pretend. But like sometimes, I mean, nobody doesn't argue nobody's perfect all the time. So we argue once in a while. He gets
I love
angry.
this.
Angry.
I love this confessional here that's already
He's
started.
Italian too.
I scream and I get vulgar, and I tell him I'm going to throw him through a window if he doesn't shut the fuck up. And you know, I'm tough. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a wise guy. But
and then like 10 minutes later, he's fine.
yeah, I mean, body language. When I work, if I'm not working playing a gangster, I have to watch my body language. I definitely do. I'm loving everything you're saying. Because
she was going to give you an example of something.
No,
though,
I want
so.
to.
I was, but I love the
Well,
confession.
give us the example, then we'll go on.
Well, I want you to give me an example. So Ron, what's something you do when you get angry, when you're being all Brooklyn like what do you do?
He
what is something that?
Oh,
well, yelling is verbal. So
Forget about it. What are you doing to me? I'm getting crazy. What's wrong with you? I'm going to throw you right through
like
that window. Almost.
Okay, so you kind of do like these upward cup hands, like
yes.
Okay. So for you, that's what you do when you're angry. Right?
Exploding. Okay. That's an expression of explosion. I'm exploding.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll call them explosion hands then. That's fine. Yeah. Because the thing is, it has to be something that you specifically do. Body language is universal, but what you pick out of that universal pot is unique to you. So I couldn't tell you to do a particular body language expression and have that be authentic and real to your acting performance. So what we do then is we say, okay, so if when you're angry, your brain sends a message to your body for you to do this kind of thing, right? So, okay. What most people don't realize and what body language coding is all about is that the same message that traveled from your brain to your body to make you feel, to show your anger and make you feel angry by doing this, the explosion, right? That message goes the other direction. So what that means is if you start doing this explosion gesture, after a time period, you're going to feel angry because your brain is saying, you know, when we do this, we're angry. So we must be angry. And then what the brain does is floods your limbic system with chemicals and hormones, and it makes you actually feel angry. Maybe your breathing changes, maybe your heart rate changes. So you can't make that stuff happen on its own. So this is what I call body language coding, because you're taking on the physical manifestation of that emotion, and then it changes your physiological state. So you don't actually have to go out and relive live these experiences for real. You don't have to dig up old trauma. You can just code your performance and your body with these body language aspects that are going to tell your brain how your body should be feeling.
Yeah, but in acting, you have to. Here, example. Brooklyn, I'm going to kill you. Protestant, Connecticut, I'm very angry with you. I'm really not enjoying this. Different. So when you act, you have to know the character, the location, where the character came from, what nationality the character is, and what kind of finances it has. I study my character. I make it come to real. I mean, I'm playing a landlord in a movie coming up now, and I'm not, because I get killed. I'm not certain how I'm going to play that landlord yet, because the script is a little wavy. But I know that once I shoot it, I'm going to play it like a landlord. I've never been a landlord. I've not a clue as to what a landlord feels, but I'll learn it. So I believe in what you're saying. What you tell the brain, the body does. There's no question about it. You
Yeah,
believe-
and so in a situation like that, I mean, obviously, if you're playing a character that wouldn't be consistent with this sort of regionalism of the exploding hands kind of thing that you personally do, then you would just pick something else from your repertoire of body language that would be more well suited for that character, but
Mhm.
still has the body coding aspect to be able to get that
Exactly.
emotion. Mhm.
Exactly.
So that's why you call it acting.
You're a good coach.
Science-based
You know
acting
what? I should
method.
give your name to a lot of crappy actors I work with. All they do is read lines. You know, they stand there with their hands in their
Right.
pocket. I want to vomit. You know, you're a human being. Humans don't stand there reading lines. They emote.
Actually,
oh God, I could
by
give
the
your
way,
name
she's
to
got a
lot of
website,
people.
you guys. It's actingscience.com
Exactly.
because on her website, she got a great website. It's very easy to navigate, and she does do classes, and you can sign up for classes, and you can do all kinds of stuff
And I would
to
say
work with her.
sign up to her class if you're an actor. You can't go wrong. She's got the right beat.
So
Thank
some of
you.
the
I
people,
appreciate
too,
You
you
that.
know,
guys,
you know what you're selling. You're good.
a couple
Thank
of
you.
people, you
Thank
guys,
you.
but she because she works under NDAs, she can't talk about a lot of the people that she's worked with, but 3 of them are on her website, so I know we can talk about them. And
Yeah.
so she worked with Emma Stone, you guys, Academy Award winner.
Love her.
Mhm.
Quentin Aaron from The Blind Side, who we met at that bullying event
Yes,
from
yeah, very sweet guy.
The Blind Side, was a great movie. And
Sweet
Jamie
guy.
McGinty, who was one of the guys on Glee. One of the singers on Glee, I think the last 2 seasons maybe or something like that. But anyway, big people. The method seems to be working. And
Well, because it's an understandable method. She's not teaching something that's way out someplace that you got to say, oh, that's bullshit. What she's talking about is so easy. It's simplistic. Your brain tells your body what to do.
actually,
Am I right in what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, science is something that we can really count on, and I think a lot of methods out there are just people's opinion. And what I like about this is that I'm able to tell people as a particular aspect of it, like I just did with you two, and then say the scientific reason why that is true. Not just, oh, faith likes this. You know, faith likes this. Well, what if the next person doesn't like it? And I think you get so many actors that are so frustrated, and frankly, I don't blame them because they're being told different things. They keep taking these casting director workshops, hoping to get discovered, which first and foremost should not be the way it's done. You should go to these workshops to learn, not to just get an opinion. But that's all it is. It's an opinion without any real substance. A lot of times, there's some good ones out there, of course, as well. But a lot of times, it's just they're going in and they're acting and then getting an opinion. I liked it. I didn't like it. Okay, but why? Break that down into
That's
scientific reasons.
That's
I
their
agree.
insecurity. When actors pull that insecure stuff, I get bored to death. And I say to them, listen, Buster, you're going to be in the public eye, on film, on stage, or whatever. People are going to like you. People are going to not like you. People are going to think you stink. People are going to think you're great. So don't worry about what people think. Worry about what you think about your work. Can you improve your work? Did you do a good job? I never had an acting lesson. I've never gone to method acting. All I know is I read a book once about method acting, and I liked everything I read, and I agreed with it, and I use it. Yes, I do use things. I mean, there are times I think of my father when I have to be very strict. I just played a father in a movie not long ago, and I had to reflect to my father. A lot of actors don't have children, so they don't know what it's like to be a father. I have 2 daughters that I raised single-handedly. I'm in about 3 movies that they cast me only because they know that I know how to be a father. So you see, you do tap into real life experiences. So combine what you do and real life experiences, you're going to be a damn good actor.
I always say that the method that is best is the method that works for you.
Yeah,
And
truth.
I
It has
really
to be
like
truth.
I really like the idea that when you take, like people say, well, what is better about your method or whatever, and they get into like these little scuffles over it. And of course, I can quote all the science, and I can stand behind everything that I'm saying. But really, at the end of the day, the method that works best is the method that works for you. I look at what I teach as more as the grid, the framework that you can take and you can put in the different things that you are maybe responding to
I love it.
in
I
your
love
other
it.
training.
Absolutely.
So have you ever
Totally.
decided, like,
Totally.
because like you, I mean, do you kind of have like a pretty Deborah Harry look going on? Like, did you ever consider yourself to be like, did you ever want to be an actor? Because you're a casting director. Did you ever want to be an actor?
She's
Since you know how
pretty
to do
enough
it?
to be an
Yeah,
actress.
you're gorgeous enough to be an
Yeah,
actor.
you
Well,
could be
I should just hang out with y'all all the time. This is just for my ego.
We don't do ego here. Trust me.
Yeah, if you were
This
ugly,
show-
we wouldn't say shit.
this show is our show is so honest. That's why we love it. People love our show because we talk the truth.
Yeah, if you were
We don't-
ugly, we wouldn't
No,
talk
no,
about it at all.
No Hollywood bullshit here. I told Jimmy that I will not do this show for 14 years if I have to kiss ass, blow smoke up everybody's ass, and humor them. I'm not a psychiatrist. Let them go to a shrink for that. I'm an
You really are
interviewer.
beautiful. You're
beautiful. You're intelligent. You're well spoken. You could be anything you want to be. Am I right
Which
or
she
wrong?
is.
No, she could be
Thank-
anything she wants to
Thank
be.
you very much. No, I really haven't ever wanted to do that. It's funny though, because it seems like every project that I cast, the director wants to put me in the movie, and I say no, I don't act. And I see actors struggling to get parts, and I think, gosh, all you have to do is become a casting director, and they offer it to you.
No, you photograph well. You look like Gene Simmons with blonde hair. Do you know who Gene Simmons is?
Not Gene Simmons with this.
No, Gene Simmons, movie actress. Do you remember? She was an English actress, Gene Simmons.
Yeah,
was
well, I am British,
Married to
so
Stuart Danger.
yeah.
Gene Simmons, a very beautiful actress. If you had black hair, you could look like Gene Simmons.
I like
Thank
love
you.
it.
I might next week. You never know.
Hey, that's right.
Tell me, how many times you're married? Because you opened that door.
Oh, right. Well, 3 times, and then engaged twice after that. So what I figured out is that you don't always have to say yes.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, that works.
Just because they ask doesn't mean to say you have to say yes. But then, I joke about it, but as a deception detection expert, it's not that easy to be in a relationship. Because in day-to-day life, like I said, we lie 81 times per day. My thesis work was on the different types of lies. So there's 13 different types of lies. We can go through a few if you want, but think about that. So I'm interacting someone in my house, in my space, that I'm aware is lying on a regular basis, and you know them really well, because one of the things you want to do in deception detection is you have to baseline a person. You have to see what's normal for them. So, it takes just a few minutes to figure that out. And now you're living with them. And now you know every single thing they do, like the back of your hand, and when they're lying and how they feel about the lie. And so I would try to talk to them and say, I can see that maybe that's not exactly how things worked or how it happened, and would you like to talk about that? And it was just really difficult.
Oh my God! So hey, wait, no, my turn. My
question.
So no, this is important because before I was with Ron, I was with a psychologist for 25 years.
Oh God!
And nobody wanted to talk to him ever. I mean, he was all messed up anyway. But everywhere we went, everybody felt like he was like analyzing them. And if I would imagine the same thing would work for you, like not analyzing, but everybody, if they know you're a detection expert, they're probably like afraid to talk to you.
Yeah. Well, yes. I actually never get asked out. And that may, you just said how beautiful I am, but I never get asked out. And I think that might have something to do with what I do.
Guys are afraid to
No,
ask
no.
about beautiful women.
My daughter was first runner-up in the Miss America Eastern Division. She's gorgeous, blonde, green eyes. Men don't ask her out. And if they talk to her, they have the balls to talk to her. They say, gee, you're really nice. You're not a snob at all. Because they think beautiful women are snobs. Okay.
Yeah. There's a bias
I
towards
believe that culture has a lot to do with lying. I was raised very Italian. And in our household, and in all the Italian households I know in Brooklyn, we did not like liars. Anybody that lied was in trouble with us. And we were taught from young, tell it like it is, be honest, don't bullshit anybody, don't lie. And that's why my personality is such. I doubt I lie 81 times a day. I don't think I have enough going on to lie about 81 times a day. I lie? On Facebook, I don't lie. I give advice and I tell the truth. All my friends laugh at me. Sean Kanan made a joke the other day. He said, oh, Ron, beware of what he says, as a joke, because he'll tell you the truth. I believe in truth. I believe lies are damaging and lies are found out. In the end, you'll find out who's a liar. So it's easier to tell the truth and not have to worry, gee, what did I say? I said that last week. I forgot what I said. Now I can't say it again. Who the hell wants to live like that as a liar? So
yeah, but
I
she's
think
also probably talking about like because as a kid, they grow up and your parents tell you there's such a thing as a white lie, that you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. So
No, our house, there was no such thing as a white lie.
My house,
a
there was
lie
such a thing
was
as a white lie.
a lie. My father would always say to me in Italian, la verità, the truth.
But the white lie might make up a lot of the 81% of. I mean,
Well,
a lot of the
wait. Let me ask you: do I lie to you all day long? Tell the
No,
truth.
he doesn't lie all day long. That's why we get into fights, because he tells me the truth.
Yeah, and he gets offended. Now you want to talk about body language? I do that. When Jimmy's mad, he does this.
Oh, the dead stare.
Oh,
Okay.
he goes with it. He implodes. He
explodes. I implode. I take it all in. He lets it all out.
You learn people, but I don't see a point in lying.
So let her respond to what you're
wait a
saying.
minute. I mean, I don't get it.
Well, thou protest a little bit too much right about
what
now,
are you-
my friend,
what-
because
yeah,
you've gone on and on and on about this.
Wait.
So,
By
Wait,
the way, I'm going to ask Faith, how many times a day do you lie, and what do you lie about?
well, I'm sure that I also lie, and like you, my intention is not to lie. But I think it's important to understand what some of those lie categories are. So let me explain one that you might find fascinating. Remember, we're talking about deception detection, and so we're talking about body language reading. So your body is always going to tell the truth when what you're processing in your brain is contradictory to whatever the circumstance is. Your body's going to show that. So one category of lies that the body will show as a lie is what I call the future lie. And the future lie is when you say, I will never leave you. I will never cheat on you. I'm going to work out tomorrow. Your brain doesn't know that for a fact. And so it's going to show and read that as a lie. Do we think that's a bad thing to do and say, well, it's our intention. We'd really like to not cheat on our spouse, right? That's a good intention.
All the time to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it's actually a lie. It's actually a lie. As far as your brain is concerned.
Oh, I do know that.
No, you don't.
You believe you know that, but your brain does not know that.
I don't want to get into it, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But
like moralistically, you don't want to do that. So that is your intention. And the intent is honest.
I do lie because I just said a lie yesterday. We got brand new, beautiful area carpet for the room we're in now. Gorgeous area carpet. But we have a beautiful little dog, Brandy girl, who likes to eat carpet. She chews holes in carpet. So I said to Jimmy, if she eats this carpet, I'm going to bring her right to rescue and give her away. Now
that's not true.
That was a big fucking lie, trust me. I wouldn't give my dog up. My little white girl, my little boy. Look at my little boy. He's so cute. Astro, say hello.
Let me see the dogs.
Say hello
the other
to
one's
Faith.
too big to
say,
pick up.
Faith, how are you, honey? Isn't she pretty?
Aww.
Say hi, Faith.
Oh.
I would never give my dog up. So that was a lie. You're right. We do lie
We
stupidly.
lie in weird ways. Yeah, we
Yes.
lie in weird ways.
Yeah.
I
We lie
find
with
it
good intentions
fascinating.
sometimes, you know, and
No,
a lot
no,
of our lies are subconscious as well, so we don't even know that we're doing it. Like, you know, we say things that that are going to read as a lie just because our brain just doesn't have the data. We take in 200 trillion bits of information a second, but our brain actually only processes on a conscious level 2,000 bits per second. So all that other stuff, that can be a lot of lies that we're telling ourselves. That can be a lot of data that we're just not processing.
That's
Do you think
fascinating.
do you think I am stopping all sugar completely now? I'm not ingesting any sugar at all, and I've done this now for about 4 days. I'm having difficulty.
Well, good.
I'm
Good for you. 4 days. That's great.
only
Me too.
because it causes neuropathy. I'm a type 2 diabetic, so it causes neuropathy. So I have to stop medically.
Yeah.
Lying to myself when I say I will never eat sugar again.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're lying.
That's a lie.
There's no way to stop it because certain things there's no way you can. I mean, any
So we do lie to ourselves. I'm going to
Mhm.
lose weight. There's a lot of things. You're right. We do lie to ourselves.
There's a lot of things that we lie about to ourselves that sort of perpetuate the myths of our lives. For actors, for instance, they're constantly telling themselves they're not very good memorizers. Oh, I'm just no good at memorization. Well, you just told your brain that you're no good at memorization. Your brain's up there trying to figure it out. Like, wait, we do know how to memorize, and it's going to read like a lie. So there's a lot of that stuff that we do to ourselves that actually counts into that category of deception. And I look at it and I read it and I say, oh, 100% you can do this. You know, I
Age
help
has a
people
lot.
believe in themselves because you know their bodies are telling them that yes, you can do these things.
Well, there are certain.
yeah, but
differences.
maybe not.
Well,
Maybe
wait a minute. No, no,
you
no.
tell yourself
No, no.
age is why
No,
you can't
no,
remember
no,
lines, but
no.
maybe that's bullshit.
No, it's not. The brain at 82 years old doesn't function as well as at 25. I
And if
have
you
some.
continue to reinforce that, your
No, I
brain is
don't.
like
I
a
really don't.
well-trained dog. It'll do what you say it
No.
will.
Yeah,
It
good. I
will.
like
No,
that.
hey,
I like
I
that.
agree with you. I agree with you.
Mhm. I couldn't
Um,
train any of my husbands, but I can
No,
train.
no. Mine has a lot to do with medical because type 2 diabetics
Mhm,
will, because of the sugar damage, have some
mhm,
dementia or loss of brain cells. We know that
mhm.
for a
I
fact.
think I agree with you, Faith.
And
Because
I agree with you, but
I've seen
no,
it.
no, wait a minute, Jimmy. You know me. I'm not a defeatist.
I know, but I've actually seen you memorize lines, and then when I give you the little cue, you know the line. You actually can do it, but if you
yeah,
didn't
but
tell
then,
yourself,
but from you to the set, I forget it. I use an
Well,
ear. No, I work with an earplug. Jimmy feeds me my cue lines, and they go in my earplug, like Johnny Depp does in Brando and Meryl Streep. They all do
De
it.
Niro, not Brando.
Marlon Brando.
He doesn't do it anymore. He's
No,
oh my
Marlon
God,
Brando.
don't tell actors this because unless they are those famous actors, they're never going to get away with using an earpiece.
That's true.
You know, it is. There are definitely medical conditions that affect memory, but there's also this thing called neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to repair itself. And there's more and more research coming out every day about this.
Through correct
So how did
nutrition.
is that right? Is he right? Like how do you fix your neuroplasticity?
If you eat correctly and stop the
Wait,
poison.
let her tell me. I want to tell her.
Well,
really-
yes, definitely. Things like
love you. We're on the same page.
yeah, things like getting quality sleep. I don't think historically we've really spent enough time talking about the importance of quality sleep. Most Americans have sleep apnea, if not severe sleep apnea, but we really don't treat it. So that, for example, your health and nutrition, your balance, your hormones, all of those things are definitely key factors. But the one thing that really builds neuroplasticity more than anything else is fantasy. And so you're like, oh my God, what the heck is she talking about? So the brain is designed to do two things. It's designed to survive and evolve. And we have to survive in order to evolve. And so we spend a lot, if not most of our days in a state of our brain, which is survival mode. So survival mode is not going to create neuroplasticity. The evolutionary mode and functions of our brain is going to recreate brain cells and new neural pathways. So how do we get from going from survival mode into evolutionary mode? Is fantasy. This is why we enjoy entertainment so much, because essentially what it's doing, it's giving your brain a break, sort of a spa day of, look, we're not going to worry about surviving, and right now we don't have to evolve. So just kick back and relax. That's why we like entertainment. That's why we like to go to the movies. That's why we like music. That's why we like dancing. These things, this time for fantasy, which frankly a lot of cultures around the world really encourage that. You know, they encourage the arts. They encourage. I live part-time in France, and you know, we take time with our meals. We take 3-4 hours sometimes eating our meals and socializing with our friends. That is the break that our brain needs. During that fantasy mode, if we are reinforcing myths such as I can't memorize, or I'm too old to memorize, or I'm not good enough, or I'll never be famous, or any of these things during that time period.
I don't say.
Go ahead. No, keep finish. Let her finish the
No,
thought.
I'm
though.
just saying.
If you don't,
It's almost like an open wound in a good way. You're right. So when your brain opens up during fantasy state, if you're putting messages into your brain that are not consistent with what you want your brain to do, then you are going to live those neural pathways. If you think of the brain as a mountain, and when it rains, think of that as your stimulation in your life. You carve these pathways down the mountain from the water going down the mountain. Same is true with your brain. So as you live life, you create these neural pathways that become then the blueprint of your life experience. If you experience those things, you reinforce those things over and over and over again, what happens is that you get this data, and it could be completely different data, but it's going to pass down those paths of least resistance. So it's going to go down those neural pathways because you've done it before. You know, I always hear people say, I just keep attracting the same bad people into my life. That is because you are not changing anything. You're just the path of least resistance. You're just continuing to do the same thing over again. So the only way, so when it rains, you know, it's going to go down those same paths that have been carved into the mountain. The only way to get new neural pathways, i.e. neuroplasticity, is to overstimulate. So in other words, a monsoon of rain down that mountain that will force new neural pathways. So
I love it.
That's what you have to do with your brain. And if you're just reinforcing the myths of your life, then you're going to stay there forever.
I love it. I think
Very good, very good. Well, how do you account for walking into a room and forgetting why you went into that room and what you were looking for?
It could be that you have an overactive mind. So in other words, in the time that it took you to walk from one room to the other, you had a billion thoughts. Maybe you wrote a scene in a movie. Maybe you, decided 3 great ideas that you were going to utilize this week. It could actually be not a lack of memory, but an overactive mind that is looking for a spa day, if you will, is looking for the evolutionary path to take. So I think that we take those kind of experiences and we automatically think that they're bad. You know, oh, I can't remember. You know, the cat darts out of the room like they have a mission, but you can't remember why you're there. It doesn't really matter so much why you're there as it does what you were thinking about while you were getting there. So there's 2 very different ways of looking at that.
This morning, I was trying to make coffee, and I had a bit of difficulty with it because as I was making the coffee, I said to Jimmy and myself, I wonder if my daughter Deirdre landed in London yet, because I haven't heard from her and I was worried. Mm-hmm. She's traveling alone from London, Scotland, and Ireland, and I'm a little bit concerned about a girl alone in those countries with the problems they have politically. So
I should be fine in Scotland and England.
Yeah, she'll be
fine in most of Ireland. So
I am very, very involved right now with her well-being, and I have 2 scripts to memorize, and I decided not to do it today because I'm not going to have the focus. My focus is until I hear from my daughter. Is that normal or not?
That's actually not only normal, but smart. I think a lot of people don't realize that memory and recall are two different things. So, what I would advise you to do is to look over your scripts and then put them away, because you're focusing on something else today, and just allow yourself to have that time.
I love
I
it.
call it, Jimmy, I call it priority thinking. That's my for it. No, I do. I call it priority. Jimmy said, how come you didn't do it? I said, because it was not priority thinking. I have priority over something more important. And that's my problem. I put the important things before the less important. Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why you can't remember why you walked into the room, because the thing in your head became more important than the thing in the room.
That's right. So I just want people out there to know that a lot of people think it's the beginning of Alzheimer's or dementia. It's not necessarily. It could be, but it's not necessarily signs of dementia or Alzheimer's.
Okay, hang on, because we only got like a minute and a half.
I love her. I want her.
First of all, I want to thank
you're coming back.
I want to thank
Okay.
thank Barry Rogers for introducing us to you. First
I
of all,
love
he's
you. And everybody listen to
a
her.
great
This woman,
publicist.
she knows what she's selling.
You guys
She
can
knows
go
it.
to Faith's website. She's got actingscience.com and cmfatraining.com. Go to actingscience.com. It's just easier to remember that one. Her Instagram is Communication Method for Actors. So
Yeah,
it's
follow me on Instagram. That's
Follow
the
her on
algorithm is against me.
Yeah, the algorithm.
I don't
is-
do enough
Hang on a
pointing
minute.
and dancing.
Wait,
to-
Yeah, me neither.
Wait, where do you you teach in LA?
No, she's in.
I don't teach in LA. I teach online, so I
you
teach
teach
everywhere. And then
I'm gonna give your name to a couple of young actors that ask me for advice. I'm gonna turn them on to you because you say
that
the
would be
same.
great.
You say the same thing I say.
Yeah, we're speaking the same language. I just put the science behind the cool things you think
If it's
about.
not here, it'll never get to the screen.
Mhm. That's reaction first. That's emotional regulation
It's
and how
not
the brain
here, it doesn't
processes.
get to the
Mhm.
screen.
So you
I tell
guys
them that all the time.
follow Faith on
Love
Instagram.
that.
Guys, if you need a great acting coach, go to actingscience.com.
I would if I were
And
young.
You
and
should write a book
confused.
about the deception stuff, because like that would be like amazing to read. Actually,
I am
if I-
actually working on that. I'm almost finished with it, so I'm expecting that to come out after the first of the year. So there will be a
bring
book
you back
called
when that
Acting
comes
Science.
out. We'll bring it back then because
If
like I want to
were-
read that.
If I were a young actor starting off and I were insecure and worried about how to and what to, I would contact this lady. I think she could be a great help to you.
Absolutely. All right. So thank you so
I would
much.
love that. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry
Thank you,
Rogers.
Faith. I really enjoyed you. You were very interesting and smart and pretty. All nice. And
All
I'm not
nice
lying,
things.
and I'm not lying.
All right, Faith. Thank you
Have
so
a great
much.
day.
All right.
Bye,
I'll see you
Faith.
again
Checking out
soon.
the show
Bye.
today. We'll be back next week, and have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Can turn out to be so wrong.
Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.